Okay, perfect. So Aries, take it away with the health and nutrition.
Of course. So with the topic of health and nutrition in mind, why did you go out of your way to study health and nutrition? Was it something you were interested in, like
No,
from a young age and all that?
No, I was actually diabetic, almost 500 pounds.
Oh,
And I needed to change my lifestyle. I needed to reverse my diabetes. So that's the reason why I started studying health and nutrition, so that I can properly do it effectively. And instead of taking medication to study it and change my lifestyle.
I see. So how did you exactly go about studying it in order to get
I
it?
started a lot of research on my own. And eventually I contacted different institutes that would teach me, and I became a licensed health counselor over here in Alberta, and then eventually national. And then I started working with clients as well. I stopped working with clients since COVID, but I was working with clients. I went and I studied, obviously, because you can't get licensed until you've done your studies. And that's kind of what happened.
So has there been any like big breakthroughs that you've gotten during your studies, or like during your health and nutrition studies, that you could pass on to the Muslim community or anything like that?
Yeah. I lost 250 pounds.
Subhanallah.
This was through exercise and diet. I convinced myself that eating healthy food is Islam. So I stopped eating, like, this is a muffin that I've been eating this whole time, and there's no sugar in it. It's sweetened by bananas and a little bit of honey. So it's very and I eat raw honey. So like eating healthy food. Yeah, like highlights. Like I lost 250 pounds. I reversed my diabetes. I reversed my cholesterol, and basically, yeah, going back and just following, eating natural foods. That's the cure to everything.
So with that in mind, what advice can you give to people who are like living alone, like most of us, and might not know how to diet and like watch their eating habits and all that?
Try to look for a good let's see here. Look for a good recipe online of whatever you like. It requires one day. One day you have to do this. It can be they have Nando's peri chicken. Go online and find the recipe for Nando's chicken recipe. Go find that recipe. And then go get all the ingredients and cook it. And you're going to realize it tastes way better. And then after that, appreciate the fact that the foods that you cook are way better, because you know exactly what you put inside every single thing that you put inside that food. That's the first thing. Second thing, remind yourself that eating healthy is Sunnah. And we want to follow the Sunnah. That's all I can say. Because obviously, you're driving by a burger shop or a burger joint or like a pizza place, because your cravings do go up a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's pretty good. But if you like pizza, go ahead and make your own dough at home, put your own toppings on there. Have you ever had a pizza where you're just like, oh man, it's just like this, or it's just like that? You eat something from outside. It requires work, I understand, and it's hard, but maybe if you're living with roommates, connecting yourself and then doing it in such a way that other people can help out, and but it's an investment for your lifetime, because you don't want to be like me, that you ended up becoming a big balloon. And besides the fact that you weighed so much, if you didn't weigh that much, I'd be up in the sky floating away. Like that's basically what it is, right? So you don't want to do that. It's detrimental to your health, and well, clearly you'll be questioned about it on the day of judgment. So.
So how is it like juggling between studying and teaching Islam and studying medicine?
I study classical medicine.
Uh,
So tradition versus classics, right? So the difference in juggling, there's no juggling. My
oh,
focus is classical medicine.
yeah.
I'm one of those people, if I'm studying something, I focus on it and I finish it. And then I go to the next one. So I'm not that good of someone who I can't really multitask too well.
Mm.
So what I would do is I would actually study one thing, do it properly. So right now my focus is studying classical medicine, and I've been studying it for a while now. And studying holistic health and stuff. It's been there for a while. So now I only started teaching it as well at Critical Loyalty. So I teach courses on classical medicine now. A little bit more. It's a little bit more different, but everything tends to complement one another, and it gives me a lot of perspective on different things. The more you expand your knowledge, the more you gain perspective on different areas, whether it's hadith, whether it's tafsir. So yes, medicine helps you appreciate tafsir and hadith as well. It kind of builds like a pyramid.
I see. Would you recommend more Muslims to get into the field of health and nutrition?
I would recommend Muslims to understand the perspective that the Qur'an talks about regarding health and nutrition, because the perspective can change your life. Just getting into health and nutrition not really going to change your life. I mean, yeah, but yes, I would recommend more Muslims to change their lifestyle, understand how health works. I mean, think about the amount of processed foods we eat in Ramadan. And we're trying to clean our gut at the same time, but we're filling it with all kinds of stuff as well. So,
what are your thoughts on people who want to get into conventional medicine?
it's
As
good.
in, like,
Conventional medicine is excellent.
like you don't see a clash between traditional medicine and conventional, perhaps a big focus on prescription drugs, stuff like that.
You see, for the last 2 hours, I thought I was controversial. So now you're dropping the ball. I went to Shoppers Drug Mart the other day. I was looking for a mulberry tea, and I went to the pharmacist and I said, "Hey, do you know where I can find some mulberry tea, mulberry fruit tea?" And she said, "Well, you can go in the health aisle." And the health aisle was just like one little like little section there. And the whole store was all like processed and stuff like that. My perspective on it, I've always said we have to live according to nature. So in summer, go to sleep late, wake up early. In winter, go to sleep early, wake up late. Like follow nature. Natural. Antibiotics. What does antibiotic literally translate as?
Against living organisms?
There you go. You get the point?
Yeah.
That's what it means. It basically means against nature, right?
Right.
So that's my philosophy. But sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need to shock the system, but you don't need it all the time. Preventative medicine is better than, like, honestly, there's a bug coming. I'm going to sit on your face. I have to smack your face. You have no choice. There's a bug on your face. But, like, be preventative of it. So, like, if someone is doing something and they break their leg, yeah, they'll need to fix it. You'll need to do, like, some interventions right away. But it doesn't mean that we get so caught up on the interventions. I'll give you an example, like marijuana. Marijuana is it an antibiotic?
Sorry?
Is marijuana an antibiotic?
Not that I know of.
Let's see, like for example, just simple CBD it's an antibiotic. No, it comes from the ground. it's a weed, right?
Yeah.
Compare that to Tylenol or Advil. You see the difference? But which one is allowed? Which one's not allowed?
Tylenol is allowed, marijuana isn't.
Perspective.
Right. And then Shaykh Uthman, to wrap things up, I had I could either go into COVID-related things, but I think it's best not to go there, or diets like keto, vegan, those sorts of things. So you can choose. You can take your. You can choose which controversial topic to address.
I don't have much opinions on COVID-related things. I did get my second vaccine, and after I got my second vaccine, I lost my hearing in my left ear.
Is it back now?
Huh?
Is it back?
No. It's I need some white noise in the background. I don't have any over here. This one doesn't work. So yeah, I have pretty strong opinions about that. We just get away from that for now.
All right.
But we can talk about the other diets. What's the question?
Do you recommend people follow some of those dietary approaches like keto, veganism, paleo, or do you think it's best to sort of eat? I think eat a lot of vegetables, eat things where you know all the ingredients, stuff like that. Like, do you think it's better to be more wholesome or to follow a rigid approach?
No, wholesome is always better, but sometimes you don't need a rigid approach. Like if someone has diabetes, yeah, cut out carbs. Have very minimal carbs, and your carbs should come from vegetables, right? Depending on the situation the person is in, they should eat the diet accordingly. But if someone's completely healthy and just obese, then don't go on the keto diet. That doesn't make any sense. Eat more of a wholesome diet. Also understand nutrition, because it's like, I'm going to only eat fruits, but I didn't realize that fruits is full of sugar. It's going to spike your insulin as well. So like eating wholesome diet, have some fruits, have some vegetables, have some proteins, have everything together. Wholesome diet is what I advocate for. But if there is someone who's in a crazy health situation, then yeah, they should be eating something which is completely, they need to go maybe like 1 or 2 months on a hardcore, a crazy approach, which I do myself as well many times. Like, for example, about a month ago, I went on a zero gluten diet, on a high fruit diet, but I only did that just to clean up my system on the inside, and to just did that, and then I went back to eating whole grains and stuff like that. So some things are completely. It really depends on the situation. I always say, make reference. Go and find yourself a nutritionist or someone who can guide you. Even a doctor. Doctors don't study nutrition too much, but like talk to a nutritionist about your situation. And if someone's a registered nutritionist, they'll be able to read your blood work and recommend different things as well.
Right. And then Shaykh Uthman, final question for this episode is, throughout the course of your life, your different experiences, different places you've been to, different people you've interacted, your reflections and thoughts, what's the biggest takeaway lesson you would say, the biggest thing you've come to realize? As in, like, based on your personal experiences, what's the number one thing you think you would recommend others to follow to be successful in the dunya and akhirah?
Make the Qur'an tangible. That's my advice. Make the Qur'an completely tangible. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you're going to get this, you're going to get it. Make it extremely tangible. If Allah says, crave death, crave death.
What do you mean by tangible? If like
tangible literally means this is a plate, you can touch it, you can feel it. That's what tangible means. Basically, if Allah says this is what it is, know that that's what it is. Don't question the Qur'an. Question everything else. If Allah says that by doing one good deed, you're going to get 10 good deeds, expect 10 good things are going to happen to you in the next day or whatever. That's what I mean by tangible.
Right. Okay, Shaykh Uthman, JazākAllāh Khaiyr. Thanks a lot for joining us on this episode. It was a real pleasure hosting you. We ask Allah to bless you in your work and all of your affairs. And we ask Allah to accept it from all of us and for it to be sincerely for Him. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.